Hey everyone, Grand Rising. So Valentine's Day this year happened to fall on a Saturday, and Saturdays are the days that me and the girlfriend spend a chunk of our time in the garden every week. This week it was time to take clones for the next round in the 5x5. So this is how I do it, and yeah, let's get started. So this is not the tell-all, be-all way of doing clones. It's just the way that I'm doing it. I've only had one successful time doing clones, and it was doing it this way. I've tried to do clones a few other times and never happened. So to start, you're gonna need a sharp pair of scissors or clips. I have 2 cups of water here. It's just filtered tap water with a few drops of hydrogen peroxide in each to sanitize everything. I will use hydrogen peroxide in every step during this because I don't want any funk to grow. Then I've got a quart of water split between here. This is going to be when I mix up the root dip solution. We'll get to that. And I've got a half a gallon of water. This is going to be what I mix up the mixture for the reservoir for my deep water culture cloner. And we will get to that also. There's another gallon and a half of, this is RO water, by the way. There's another gallon and a half of it already in the reservoir, ready to go downstairs. So we've got 4 girls here. We're gonna take as many cuts as we can. I got 24 spots on the cloner. So, I mean, I'm gonna take one off the top. I'm gonna cut them way back, and I'm only keeping 2 of them around. So, but you can see there's quite a few good spots here on each, so I should get plenty. But yeah, that's what you need to get started. So you want to make sure everything is labeled. I have plant labels and everything. This is a number 1. I marked this cup number 1, so that means I automatically know the other one is number 2. Get your sanitized scissors. Make sure they're good and sharp. You want sharp scissors. I know I'm cutting this way down, so I'm going to start with this top guy. I'm going to cut underneath that node. And then I'm going to cut at an angle at that node. Like that. I'm actually going to cut all of this leaf off this. You don't want a bunch of leaf. I learned this lesson the last time. It overcrowds everything, creates more moisture than you want, and you don't want it to use too much energy. So that is going to be one cutting. It's off number 1, so it's going to go in the number 1 cup to sit. I'm going to throw these leaves just on a pot or in the bed somewhere downstairs. So I am cutting this way back, so my next clone isn't even going to be until way down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and, yeah, some people aren't going to like seeing that, but I'm bonsaiing it. If you don't know what that means, pop it into YouTube, bonsai mother plant. So my next clone is going to come here. I'm going to go ahead and just cut it off all the way down here. We're going to cut at this node at an angle and then clean it up. And now I'm going to repeat this process over and over and over until I have as many cuttings as I can take, basically. But I'm going to show you how much I'm going to cut this down. So I'm going to take it all the way down, let's see, to that low down. Those are going to get thrown away. And then I'm going to take, this is a clone. I'm going to clean it up in a second. This is a clone. This is a clone. So on and so forth until I have every viable clone that I can get off of it. And I'm going to clean up these leaves down here. I'm gonna leave just that. And that is gonna be one that I keep. Yeah, that looks crazy, but it will grow. It will grow back. I don't need any of it for a while, so it's got plenty of time. But that's what I'm doing to one of these and one of the number 4s, which will probably be this one. Well, whichever one's thicker. That's another number 1. That looks thicker than this one, damn. But I'm gonna do that to one more of them. The other ones, I'm just gonna compost. All right, so these are bonsai. Yeah, I went a little harder on that one. Maybe shouldn't have, but there is one more backup of number 4 at the girlfriend's house, so it's okay. If it doesn't bounce back, we've got another one. Number 1, that's what I want. It's bonsai'd out. It'll grow back. It'll be fine. But I've got a whole bunch of cuttings from number 4 and number 1. Now I'm going to mix the dip, the clone dip. So we've got a few ingredients here. I've got a willow fermented plant extract. I'm going to use, this is 1 quart of filtered tap water, by the way. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of willow FPE. This stuff fucking stinks, by the way. So 1 tablespoon. Oh, yep, of course I spilled it directly on the phone. That's good. Hell yeah. And so there's 1 tablespoon of that. A 1/4 teaspoon of aloe. And by the way, the willow ferment delivers some salicylic acid, and it's a natural rooting hormone. It's going to help anti-wilt, rooting stimulation. Keep an impromptu check. We are dialed in for late flower. I watered today, so it's kind of struggling to keep it below 50%. Usually it's like sitting at 48, but put about 10.5 gallons into the bed today, so it's dealing with it. But it smells like overripe fruit on a tin open. Like, it's so fruity in here.
Glorious.
It's so terpy. Like, and look at that cola. Look how fucking fat she is. That's how every top on that plant is. I've hated on that plant the whole time, and I'm like, watch it yield the best and be the best smoking flower, and I'll be grateful that I know where to get a cut of it, because I may have made sure at least a couple rounds of people I know, you know. But watch it be the best flower, and like one of these be the best washers. I'm hoping what we're doing today is cuts of number 1 here. It's got pretty dense flowers, but they're not huge or anything, and they're not like super triked out. They're not super sticky on the touch, but they are the smelliest. They are the terpiest. It is straight tropical fruit punch. Number 2, also pretty dense. Like, they're pretty dense flowers. Very way stickier than her, and more gassy with a touch of fruit punch. Number 4, I love her so much. She's the frostiest in the tent for sure. Like, just a frost monster. Super dense colas. Not the biggest, but definitely the densest in the tent. It's the frostiest. And it is slightly gassy, but super fruit punchy. And her back there, just the biggest, fattest colas, but a little more airy, honestly. So, I mean, I don't know how it's going to smoke or how it's going to wash. I'm not even running it to see how it washes right now. So, We'll see how it smokes, I guess. But just a little more mild on the terps. But you know, it's still a gassy fruit, but it's not as strong as the rest of them in the tin. One does have thick stock and stamps. Like it was the flimsiest in veg, but through flower it became the sturdiest girl in the tin. But random tint check, guys. I don't even remember what day we're on, but we're in week 6 of flower. I know that. Like halfway through week 6 of flower. And honestly, they're looking like they're gonna finish in a week or 2. Is my guess. We'll do a trike shot. We'll do some trike shots. Yes. At the end of the video. We're gonna do a trike check here in a second. And we'll have some trike shots at the end of the video. Stick around for that. But rooting stimulation, it's a hormone source, it's great. Aloe relieves stress, is also help with rooting stimulation. So I got a 1/4 teaspoon of aloe into the solution. And I'm gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of coconut. It's all gonna, you know, have some hormones that boost rooting. So 1/4 teaspoon of that. A half of a milliliter, which is the tiniest amount. So literally a half a milliliter of full powder. This is fulvic acids and a half a milliliter of hydrogen peroxide. So just a splash those. Then we are going to mix that really well. Now I need that to be mixed into the whole quart, so do a little back and forth here. Try not to make a mess. Probably gonna. Oh, maybe not. And then I'll even them out. I probably only need like a tiny bit actually in the bottom of each, so yeah, this pot could use some water. I only need like that little tiny bit in the bottom, but it's a quart recipe, so it's alright. This hasn't been watered in a while. So now we've got 2 cups, so we're gonna take clones. These are number 4. I will mark the cups in just a moment. So these are all the number 4s. Some of them are really tiny. Want to make sure all of their tips get down into the solution. And we're gonna let these soak for 30 minutes in this solution. Okay, so while those soak for 30 minutes, I need to mix up the recipe that I put into the reservoir for the cloner, okay? So this is a ½ gallon of RO water. There's another 1.5 gallons of RO water in the reservoir already. I'm just gonna mix this solution, go dump it in there, and age it 5.8, 6.1, between 5.8 and 6.0, I apologize. And we'll get that in a moment, but this is a ½ gallon of RO water, and in this I'm going to put, and yes, these are very small amounts, you don't need a lot. I'm basically just making sure this water is not dead, okay? I'm just adding some little bits of nutrients, a little bit of minerals, 2 milliliters of clone solution, okay? 2 milliliters. This is gonna go into a whole 2 gallon reservoir, only 2 milliliters. okay? It's just making the RO water come to life. All this recipe is doing. And adding a little bit. A little bit of a boost for rooting. And then we're gonna do a 1/16 of a teaspoon. That's how small of a dose of aloe goes in this. 1/16 of a teaspoon, like this much.
Pinch.
The tiniest little pinch of aloe. I think I'm gonna just add like a slight bit more, like literally a pinch of aloe. Horticulture aloe from Build a Soil. There are cheaper sources. I loaded up on Black Friday sales and different stuff, so whatever. I use all Build a Soil stuff. Hate me, love you, whatever. Then I'm gonna do 2 milliliters of Full Power, which is fulvic acids. Just 2 milliliters. That's not even 2. Right there. Okay. And then 4 milliliters. So the biggest dose of anything that goes into this, and this is by BioAg. I use their silica product and their humic acid product as well. And they are the ones who make this for Build a Soil. They make Big Six. They also make one for them that's, I think it's like TM7 is the same thing, but with iron. This doesn't have the iron in it. It's specialty made for Build a Soil. 4 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide. It's specialty made for Build a Soil. 4 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide. That's about 3. About 4 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide, and this is mostly humic acid in this bag. It's trace minerals, but it's delivered through humic acids. I'm literally just gonna do a pinch. That's just adding trace minerals and a little bit of humics to this mixture. I'm gonna mix that really well. I'm gonna take this, put it into the 2-gallon res, mix it well, and pH it between 5.8 to 6.1 while these soak. So we've got that solution that we mixed up in that 1/2 gallon. We've got the bubbles already going. That's how this works. I got my pH meter in there right now. We're gonna make sure we give that a really good solid mix in there. Now, I'm gonna take citric acid, is what I use to pH down. It's a safe option. I get it from Fox Farm. It's just citric acid. Now we're gonna do this slowly because I don't want to add anything for pH up at all. So I'm gonna add a few drops and give it a good stir. We're shooting for 5 point, well, yeah, come on. 5.9 to 6.1. See how that just dropped so quick? And I only added a few drops. I think I'm gonna call that freaking good. Like, I think I nailed it. Perfect. So now the reservoir is ready. These are what we will put the clones in, and the next step after they're done soaking, they all get a dip in Clonex rooting gel. I'm throwing the kitchen sink at these girls, but doing what I'm doing this time, I got successful, like 95% success clones last time. Honestly, I think they all ended up, I think after they planted, they all ended up rooting, so 100% success. And I didn't trim the leaves as well last time. I did a better job this time. So honestly, you know, should rock out. So yeah, gonna be number ones. So we got the cup labeled number 1. Got Clonex rooting gel, and I'm gonna one by one Actually, I'm going to take a whole bunch of them. I'm going to put them all in here at one time. I'm going to do it a little different than I usually do. Just going to stick a bunch in here so I can show you several, or a couple real quick. Alright, that's enough. So get them in there and let them sit in there for a second. Set them up here. I'm going to grab a collar. And then I'm going to grab a sleeve and put it over the crack to block light from the reservoir. And I'm going to just pop it in the reservoir. And then I'm going to repeat that process for every clone that I cut. I don't even know how many I have total. I didn't count at all. So, I mean, I guess I'll just figure it out as I go. And I got the mums up top here. PPFD is about 190 to 200 right here. They're out of direct light. The light is completely like over where the clones are. The clones are going to be getting about a 120 to 150 PPFD. I do have these AC Infinity lights on the shelving, so once the clones need transferred into bigger cups, they can be put on shelves and trays, and I can spread them out. So I got plenty of room now, and it's perfect for a mum and cultivation tent. Love it. All right, so I did that 24 times, and yes, this is legal. They're all under 5 inches. Those are under 5 inches, and I only have 4 plants in my tent. Okay. Anyways, I got 24 cuts. I'm gonna put a dome on these and basically let them rock for a week. After a week, I will change this water out. I'll sanitize everything, change the water out with no aloe in it the next time, and within that next week, they all should root. I will start taking the dome off a little bit every day, starting in a couple days. And once I start that week after the change, I'll leave the vents open. Once I see calluses forming or roots popping at all, then I'll take the dome off completely. But yeah, that's the game plan. And that is the propagation tent. Much love, everyone.